Words that come to mind while describing this movie that we're talking about today are words such as weird, strange, awkward, unsettling, uncomfortable, entertaining, hilarious, and quite frankly, one of the best movies of the year. Let's talk about it. What is going on, movie fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all my movie review for the brand new dark comedy drama by the name of May December. Now, this film will have a limited release in theaters on November 17th, but will be available to stream on Netflix on December 1st. Now, before we get into my spoiler-free thoughts, I want to talk to y'all in the comments below. Let me know if this is a film you all were looking forward to checking out, but more importantly, once you've seen the film, let's talk about the direction, the story, the performances. Did you feel that sense of awkwardness? Did you have a good laugh? Were you disappointed by the film? Make sure to share all your thoughts in the comments below. Now, this film was directed by Todd Haynes, and I have seen only two of his movies, Carol and Dark Waters, but I have to go back and revisit some of his previous films because after watching this and seeing his work in this movie, this was nothing short of incredible. The way Haynes plays with drama, more specifically the melodrama, all while making you feel extremely uncomfortable, but moments, or I should say in literally some scenes second later, he makes you laugh by the absurdity on the screen. This was a masterclass of playing with tone and emotions. Now, I'm not going to give away all the details because I personally went into this film completely blind, but now I haven't had seen the trailer after watching the film. This isn't a spoiler when I give you all the plot because they pretty much give you the plot in the trailer, but for those that haven't seen the trailer, basically we're watching this movie about this married couple of 20 plus years buckling under the pressure when an actress arrives to do research for a film about their past. Now, what makes this particular couple's relationship worth researching on and actually making a movie about is that this movie is loosely based and inspired by the true story of Mary Kay Letourneau, who was an actual teacher who had sexual relations with a student back in the mid to late 90s. Now, I was vaguely familiar with that actual real life story of Mary Kay because I was a kid when that happened. I remember seeing some of the stuff on the news, but I also remember being a little bit older and seeing some of the story in Lifetime movies. But now going into watching this film, they take elements of the actual story, but they also add in their own narrative and their own spin by showcasing an actor who's studying the wife for a role, which to me, I was just completely fascinated by, and it held my complete attention. Now, the film has a bit of a mystery to it because it does take its own creative liberties, but the thing that makes this so unpredictable and compelling and unique is how it throws in these scenes of dark comedy, and the drama is turned to 11 due to the melodramatic score by Marcelo Zarvos, which was incredible and made those moments feel so over the top in the best way possible. This use of the score and the tone is perfectly captured within like the first 5 minutes of this film because we have a character who's looking in the refrigerator for some hot dogs, and the way the camera zooms in and when that score pops up, that's just the beginning of how this film plays with the campiness of this story. Now, while I'm talking about the direction and the tone and a bit of the comedy that they use in this film, by all accounts, this is still a very unsettling situation that's going on, which I'll discuss in a minute, but I want to share my thoughts on what I consider to be some of the best acting I've seen all year. Now, Natalie Portman plays the actress Elizabeth, who's researching Julianne Moore's character for this independent film that they're making, and I've been a fan of Natalie Portman since the 90s when she was in The Professional, and obviously seeing her career move on, and this performance in this film to me is on par with her performance in Jackie as well as The Black Swan. She is just phenomenal in this role. She plays both nice and caring, but also is a master manipulator at certain points, but also she has a way of being conniving and she plays it so perfectly. But there's a scene where we see our character Elizabeth giving a monologue about this letter that she found from one of our main characters. That scene is nothing short of just sensational. Talking about Julianne Moore, who plays Gracie, she delivers a powerhouse performance. She plays both a victim and a master manipulator as well. So good in this movie. It's actually scary the way she's able to play this role. Seeing the way she gaslights people and kind of passively aggressively makes remarks to those around her and making them feel so unsure about themselves and have them losing their confidence. But how she makes her husband, who she clearly treats like a child and has full control over him, and everything around her is just so amazing to see. She is a narcissist. She is such a controlling person, and Julianne Moore plays the role so damn good. And I hope they both get some type of award considerations or recognition because they're both incredible. But the person that steals the show is Charles Melton. I didn't know Melton had this talent in him because I've only seen him in like YA things like Riverdale or American Horror Story or Bad Boys 3. Like I've only seen him in those type of roles, but he completely opened me up to another side of him. He plays a person who's clearly been broken inside and wasn't given a chance to be a kid because of the situation, and now has to be a parent to 3 of his own kids while they're going off to college, all while trying to find some sense of purpose and identity. He's the beating heart of this film, and if you don't get a little teary-eyed while watching him in this film, I'm thinking of the scene where he's on the roof with his son, or in particularly when he's at the graduation. I just don't know what to tell you. This man's performance is incredible. I love the subtle kind of subplot of him being interested in caterpillars turning into butterflies and how that relates to his life, whether it was the way he talked, the way he had a lack of confidence, the way he carried himself, the way he walked. This was easily one of my favorite performances of the year. Again, this movie can be extremely campy, it's awkward, it has dark sense of humor, but it's also extremely uncomfortable and unpleasant at times because you're watching what it looks like when someone completely ruins someone's life and they take advantage of their innocence and their judgment. But then there's this meta nature to seeing this actor playing an actor and how they choose their roles and when the lines are being blurred, when she mimics Grace's mannerisms to how she speaks. There's just so much detail and depth in each scene that just deserves to be discussed and analyzed. But as far as my criticisms that I have for the film is tackling so many issues with what it's like to be an actor and be method while doing so, to be in an inappropriate relationship and how that breaks people and those surrounding them and how it breaks someone's innocence. And unfortunately, sometimes not everything is fully realized. Like you can literally have a film about Gracie's perspective on the situation, about Joe's perspective, as well as just following this actor, which Natalie Portman is the lead of this film, but there's so many different things going on in this movie with the themes and the stories that sometimes don't feel completed, especially when you get to the end of the film. And what I mean by that, without giving any spoilers away, you kind of get an idea how this particular relationship is going to play out, but I would have loved to have seen maybe a couple more scenes of how the relationship may or may not come to an end, but also the movie they're making. Like we get a scene in the film, but I would have loved to have seen, again, this could have been a 4-hour movie, but I would have loved to have seen a film or a portion of the film of when we see the movie and how the audience perceives the movie, but also how does Gracie and Joe actually feel about the movie when it comes out. Now, while I enjoyed the dark comedy and how it was used in the film overall, there were some moments of when there was a serious scene going on and sometimes it was slightly undercut by the comedy. It didn't happen a lot, but it did happen a few times in the film where it didn't take me out of the scene, but I was just wish they would have leaned more into the seriousness versus having that incredible score, but sometimes it kind of took away from what was going on screen. So those are really my only criticisms. Before I give you all my overall thoughts, give you my score, and let you know if it's worth checking out, if you stuck around to this point in the review, I want to take this moment to thank you all, and if you haven't already, consider hitting the thumbs up, sharing today's review, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and consider subscribing to the channel. Overall, May December is a film about obsession and control and complemented with an excellent direction by Todd Haynes. This film masterfully handles its various tones, and feeling uncomfortable to laughing at the melodramatic moments were almost perfect. Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman are both sensational, but Charles Melton is outstanding in his very difficult and complex role. This is an excellently crafted powerhouse of a film, and I can't wait to watch it again. I'm going to give May December a 4.5 out of 5. So there you have it. That's my review on this film, which will be available in theaters on November 17th, but will be available to stream on December 1st on Netflix. I'm excited to hear you all's thoughts on this film because I know this is not going to work for everyone, but this was my type of movie that I really enjoy, and I can't wait to talk to you all about it once you've seen it. And again, once you've seen it, share your thoughts in the comments, what worked, what didn't work, pros, cons, and everything in between. Thank you so much for watching today's review. Again, before we wrap it all up, just consider hitting the like button, sharing your thoughts, also sharing this video, but also consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification. That way you can stay up to date with all my daily content. You all are awesome. Hope you're staying safe, and I'll catch you all on the next video.